Any of these exercises can be performed with either a kettlebell, a medicine ball, a dumbbell, or any other heavy grippable object such as a rock or a milk jug. With the swing, we're going to start with the weight plate passively hanging between our legs. Start with your feet roughly 1.5 to 2 shoulder widths apart. We're going to make sure that we maintain the natural curvature of our lower spine with our chest up. The way we execute the movement is by driving the hips forward and skyward aggressively, and we're going to finish the movement with the weight plate at shoulder height just in front of our faces before allowing it to descend back between our legs and starting all over again. With the Sumo deadlift, start with your feet roughly 1.5 to 2 shoulder widths apart. Toes pointed out about 25 degrees, natural curvature in the spine. The weight is going to be hanging between our legs down on the floor. Make sure that you set up with your grip thumbs in, fingers away. We initiate the movement by pushing our kneecaps back, activating the hamstrings, and then opening our hips so that we're in the upright standing position. We're going to descend back to the floor by moving in an opposite direction, allowing the hips to close before the kneecaps bend, dropping into a starting position all over. With the bent over row, we're going to start with our feet shoulder width apart, toes pointed out roughly 25 degrees. Maintain the low natural curvature in your lower spine, making sure that your torso and your lower back are rigid throughout the duration of the movement. Try to maintain roughly 45-degree angle from shoulder to hip. Allow the weight to hang down below the chest and hold the weight with a steering wheel grip. Execute the movement by pinching the shoulder blades together and pulling the weight up to the chest before releasing and allowing the weight to return back to the floor in the hanging position. With the goblet front squat, we want to make sure that our feet are shoulder width apart, toes pointed out about 25 degrees, natural curvature in the lower spine with the torso in a vertical and upright position. The weight is going to be situated in the upper part of your chest with the elbows high, racked comfortably. We're going to drop into a full range of motion squat by initiating with our hips moving backwards before descending. Hip crease will end up below the knee at the bottom part of the squat before we return to the standing position. With the push press, start with your feet at about shoulder width apart, toes pointed out roughly 25 degrees. The weight will be in the rack position with the elbows down and away. The weight will be situated on your upper chest. We start the movement with a short dip, roughly 4 inches. Allow the quads to serve as a braking mechanism. The second part of the lift, we drive the hips open and press the weight over the top of our head, making sure that our arms end up in line with the midline, which runs from the shoulder, through the hip, through the knee, and the ankle. Bring the weight back down to the rack position before repeating the movement 5 to 8 times. With the diagonal chop, start with your feet roughly shoulder width apart, toes pointed out approximately 25 degrees. The torso will be rotated slightly to the right with the weight hanging naturally at the right knee. Your grip will be that of a steering wheel grip. Execute the movement with an explosive rotation of the torso, moving the weight at a 45-degree angle to the opposite shoulder. Return the weight along its natural path, the way it came, before repeating the movement 5 to 8 times, alternating sides.